1, 2, a 1, a 2, a buckle my shoe. Real! All I hear push it back. All I hear push it back. I don't like it. All I hear push it back. All I see are push it back. All I hear push it back. I don't like it. All I see are push it back. All I hear push it back. All I see are push it back.
When we were young, we played among the flowers. I took the confidence was all my mother's pins. But now before us all nature cowers. Through fear and death, we've molded our relationship. The breeze is blowing lightly through the treetops. The sun is out, we're basking in the light of day. The birds are eating bugs above our surfboards. The flies are buzzing as we dream the hours away. But I got restless, felt a little hungry. So I jumped to my car, did not go far, found the parking spot, I jumped out for a walk, using my eyes, using my head. I'm walking, I'm smelling, I'm walking, I'm smelling. Something's cooking, I smell something. Cooking, something's cooking, I smell something. Cooking. It's running faster. It's going. There's new life for us too. On the young and weak. There's new life for us still. I pray on the young and weak. The current overhead to drive the birds away. 1,000 voices call from the arena. 1,000 voices call with just a thing to say. When we were young, the world was like a vision. The colors and the sound that took the breath away. But now we watch it all on television. While eating across the speed above a plastic tray. But I got restless again. I felt a little hungry. A little peckish, so I jumped into my car. Did not go far. Found the parking spot. I jumped up for a walk. Using my eyes, using my head. I'm walking, I'm smelling. I'm walking, I'm smelling. Something's cooking, I smell something. Cooking, can you smell it? Something's cooking, I smell something. Cooking. It's running, but it's faster. It's jumping the world. There's new life for us to eat. I pray on the young and weak. There's new life for us to eat. I pray on the young and weak. Watch your stride, faster. First you run, then you eat. Predators. We're predators. 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 Predators. You and me. I have no blood on my hands. Oh, day everything became nothing. I was standing under a streetlight wishing I had a cigarette. I can't recall anything unusual about it. There was something in the air, in the sky had clouded over. I wasn't aware of the void intent. No thunder roar, no lightning crash, no missiles rain from the sky. This was no sneak attack. There was just suddenly this awful laugh. Things had changed, that's for sure. The day everything became nothing. You couldn't put your finger on what had gone wrong. The alleys were still dirty. The garbage still smelled. There was no panic in the streets. Just a lot of grief. A people's faces in their eyes. A mixture of horrors and total surprise. This was no apocalypse. No one heard a voice from the sky. There were no miracles at the 7-Eleven. No street, no hidden action. It was just like everything somehow, quietly, died. So let it die. I've been on my way to visit this woman I knew. All we had in common was good sex. And now I couldn't even remember her address. A group of us just strangers got together. And we formed a committee to discuss the problem. We talked about things like assured mutual destruction. And emotional responsibility. I could remember my name. Fuck all myself off. It's weird being a boss. I'll get used to it. I have to. Yeah! Let's rock! It's over! What does it? Dead souls, they want for sure. Dead souls, they want my soul. Dead souls, they're coming, I know. Dead souls, they're coming, I know. Dead souls, they'll find me, I know. Dead souls, they'll find me, I know. Dead souls, they need to feed. Dead souls, they need to feed. Dead souls, they'll find me, I know. Dead souls, they'll find it, I know. I know. Dead souls.
1, 2, 3. come the night. All the men wanna fuss and fight, but not me. Not me! 'Cause it's not what I wanna be. 'Cause I'm mama's little boy. I'm mama's little boy. I'm mama's little boy. I'm mama's little boy. Mama tells me all the things she sees. Well, it may scare you, but it don't scare me. I'm mama's little boy. I like what I see. Mama's little boy. All day long she watches her dancing sons. Come the night she picks the tallest one, but I'm mama's little boy. I'm a precious little boy. Hey! She said, son, don't hide everything inside, and someday it will turn and eat you alive. But I'm mama's little boy. I got nothing to hide. All the gods of the sun, they're just her bastard sons. Daddy, daddy, come and see me. I'm sort of insanity. 'Cause I'm mama's little boy. Mama's little boy. And I'm mad. I'm mama's little boy. Mama's little boy. And I'm mad. My mom, she said, she held me close and she said, it's okay. There's a place where I wanna be. And it's dark there. There's nothing to see. And you're alone. There's nothing you can do. Something's coming for you. You are, but you don't know what you are. You are, but you don't know where you are. You are, but you don't know who you are. You are helpless. You are helpless. You are helpless. You are helpless. That's where I wanna be. That's where I wanna be. 'Cause I'm mama's little boy. I'm mama's little boy. I'm can feel. I can feel. With you I can feel. With you I can feel. Joy. Just joy. That's it. Simple, huh? See you later. Good night, everybody. I'm afraid we're completely out of time. Thanks for coming down. We'll see you later.
He's going to ask the questions, and we're supposed to be looking this way or this way? That way. Yes, well, actually,
I forgot.
he's asking the questions over there.
Okay. First question. How's the tour going so far?
Really good, really good. We've had good crowds and good shows every place we played so far. We're doing like 9 shows in Holland, so.
What more?
Well, we're just starting.
I don't know. Start to speak so loud.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's drive only with.
Yeah, we just started here on the. We came in and flew in on the 2nd, I believe. Took a few days off, and then we're playing every night. We have a real heavy schedule. We have like 52 shows, 58 days. We start here. We go to Germany, Belgium, Denmark, Norway, Poland, Yugoslavia, Hungary, Italy, France, England, and then we fly home. Maybe we'll fly to Iceland after.
This is hot schedule.
Yeah.
It's a lot of shows.
Yeah, well, it is. For a band on our level, the more shows, the better, because it costs us money to be here every day.
Yeah.
And when we can play and make some money every day, it cuts the expenses right down, right?
That's right.
So maybe we go home even with a bit of money. That would be nice. 2-month working holiday.
You have to pay it all by yourself. Is it for tour?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We.
A great amount of money.
It is, but like I say, we're playing every night, and that's like 50 shows, and the average $300 to $500 a show, or you know, 600, 2,000 euro or whatever a show. You can make all your expenses and have some money left over at the end.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we, had some money for recording. Yeah, we're gonna go record in the end of July, beginning of August, record another record.
At home.
And, we'd like to be able to pay for the whole record ourselves this time, rather than having to borrow money from the record company, so the record company, Alternative Tentacles, could take that money and put it to promotion or something better, or, it'd be nice if we could just take care of that ourselves, rather than having to rely on somebody else.
What do you think of the Europeans, the people?
Well, it's really good. I mean, for music, it's way better than North America.
Why?
I always say because the crowds are more receptive to different kinds of music. As long as it's played well, they like it, and they'll respond to it. And there's seems to be more support from the audience, from people who work at youth centers, and even from government who help support youth centers. And I have nothing like that in North America. No, they discourage this kind of activity.
Yeah.
I think it's evil and
Yes.
the beginning of communism.
Yeah. I'm sure it's not really accepted here either, but the level of acceptance here is much higher than in Canada and the United States. The United States is the worst to play.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's a harder scene, it's a much more commercial scene, and it's a much poorer scene because everyone has to make it on their own. Wait a minute! It's another mad Canadian.
Hi, John.
This is Boris.
Boris, our drummer.
Boris, the drummer.
Boris Estworth, the second.
He won't tell us where it's actually from. Yeah, so we like to play over here. It's too bad it costs so much to get here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If we could drive, it'd be perfect.
Oh man, that chair's got a puddle in it.
Yeah, you gotta find
Oh,
one
he's
to
got to sit on the edge. John, you gotta live on the edge, John.
Well, another question. What's your musical background?
Not much except for this band. Actually, Andy played with John in another band called the Infamous Scientists when punk rock first sort of hit into Victoria and the west coast of Canada.
Rob and John played in a
bar band.
bar band called Castle.
And they played all sorts of tunes at any redneck.
Dire Straits, Sons of Swing.
For about 12 shows, not too long. Basically, all we've done is what we we do now. We quickly decided that what we wanted to do was our own music, and we've been doing that now for like 6-7 years as we are now.
Yeah.
Me and John played a little bit before that, just as a two-piece. And so, yeah, really, I've never, except for that other band which I was in with John, I've never had any other basis in music except for Nomeansno, and what I've listened to over the years.
Yeah, what do you listen to?
All sorts of stuff. We try to.
My brand.
Yes, John.
You know, those look cool.
We sort of have competitions in the van to that we travel into Canada because we have a tape deck, and we have competitions to see who can make the most varied compilation tape.
So I can pick that up and stop littering?
Humanly possible.
Yeah, we listen to all kinds of different music, you know, jazz and rock and roll, country music. Anything is good. I mean, any kind of music has something good to offer.
Any music that we like usually ends up influencing us somehow.
We steal from
Steal from everybody. Steal from the rich and give to the poor.
Dennis
Dennis Moore.
touring across Europa.
Well, another question about music. How did you get so close to each other musically? I mean, so you know each other perfect.
They're brothers, so they have some sort of blood connection. I've watched them jam together, and they do things that they're just making up at the time, and they seem to go together. I don't know how they exactly do it. All I do is just fill in the spaces that they need. Right? I can't.
Basically, we all like it loud. So.
We like it loud. We like to try all sorts of different things. We've known each other and have been friends and played together in a band for lots of years. And so it just grows together. Yeah. I mean, if you don't get it right after 8 years, you don't make it to 8 years. You quit it too.
Well, Andy, wasn't it difficult for you to get in Nomeansno because you played together for a long time?
Oh, a couple of years.
Yeah, because you were brothers. Wasn't it difficult for you to get in
Well,
Nomeansno?
I was in a band with John, so I knew them. I actually started out doing sound for them. Not a very good sound man. Maybe I could have been, maybe. I have too much of a personality problem. I need to be in front of people and make a fool of myself, so I had to be on a stage. And Rob and John kind of sensed this and took pity on me and said, "Oh, okay, well, you can play a couple songs," because they played all bass and drum songs. And
We were
originally they just played bass and drums. And
Well, we kind of figured that it would run its course. But.
It was kind of a limited structure. I mean, you learn. We learned how to.
Can you edit that out?
We learned how to be a rhythm section doing the two-piece, and it's very good way to learn how to play that way because you don't have anything else to rely on. You just kind of do it all with bass and drums. But after a while, we figured to add a guitar was going to fill up the sound a bit more and adds a third element. Also, Andy added a little bit of wildness, so we were a pretty calculated band because as a rhythm section, tightness is everything, right? Yeah. But if that's all you are, it can be too tight, right? It can be too much. And Andy sort of jumps in and he plays everything.
I make mistakes all the time. So I thought I was kind of keen to get in a band with, some guy my own age who was a great drummer and this really old weird guy. He had gray hair too, so I figured they'd get a lot of respect.
How old are you?
I'm 35. 35. So I'm getting up there, yeah.
Imagine doing
You
it
got a couple of years left.
Well, if we're together for another 5 years, you're going to be like wailing on stage when you're 40.
40 years old. Well, Mitch Jagger can get away with it. Because I don't have his money.
Also, we figured we needed a sex symbol in the band.
But unfortunately, they couldn't find one.
We're still looking for the sex symbol.
Our idea is that we're going to get some guy who's just really handsome. It's all bands of dancing girls, right, and in cages and all that bullshit, right? But we figure we get some real good-looking guy just to stand at the side of the stage. Okay, their next song is called Metro. It goes something like this. Thank you. T-shirts available at the back.
Well, you're messing up my question because you had it about sex symbol. And I wanted to ask you about sex. What do you have with sex? Because you got
very little these days,
sex
unfortunately.
man, no sex.
Not a heck of a lot.
No fucking. What about sex?
Well, I don't know. We think about it a lot. It occurs to me every day.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point. I mean, there's all these songs on the radio. I mean, rock and roll has always had to do with sex, but often it's really glamorized and really fantasized and idealistic. I met this girl and she was wonderful. Oh, she was a bitch. You know, there's the two type of rock and roll songs: the girl who's great and the girl who's a whore, right? And we thought, well, maybe there's room for a third type of rock and roll song where, you know, maybe the guy's an asshole, or, you know, there's something else going on.
Yeah, all rock songs are about sex.
Yeah.
I mean, we just use the word a lot more. We take a little more clinical attitude toward it, perhaps. We study it with a little more calculated intent.
It all comes from, most of our music, I think the inspiration comes from inner turmoil, sexual frustration, and being anally retentive, basically.
I'm not an Englishman.
Good, good. You didn't
That's good. The English are crazy.
I mean, I don't speak that English.
Oh, your English is fine. We can't understand.
I couldn't understand what you're saying.
Okay,
About...
inner turmoil. Ah! Sexual frustration. Alien retentive. Oh, I gotta go.
Okay, I understand.
Okay.
It's basically Anglo-Saxon angst.
Well, there was...
Well, that takes care of your ninth question. What about this Anglo-Saxon angst?
Well, about the lyrics. Your lyrics are not that simple.
Well, yeah, try to make the words as important as the music. I mean, I always like to write, and we all have sort of a bent. Appreciate lyrics that say something, to begin with, actually say something, and are completely stupid and pointless.
We do like some that are stupid.
Yeah, they can be fun, but
you know, I mean, it's a great song.
there's a point there where you get tired of it, right? And there's too much of it like that. And so we like to say, usually have something to say, and if you're going to say something, you might as well say it in the best, most vivid way possible, and we try to do that as well.
Yeah, but aren't you scared that because your lyrics are, oh well,
Obscure?
No, not obscure. I mean, not so simple.
Yeah.
Especially for someone who doesn't speak English.
Yeah.
Do you get? Aren't you afraid that you don't get your message to the people?
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's the danger. I mean, but you can't, what can you do? You can't simplify everything just so that anyone can understand it, because then you just take all the nuance out of it. What we like to do is add in these things. I like to get as much of the overtones in the music and the overtones in the meaning of the song in as possible.
Sort of poetry?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
but not poetry in the sense it's not written to be pretty or written to be stylish. It's written to convey a total meaning, not just one meaning, not just the black or the white, but all the gray parts in between. And it's up to the people, I think, who enjoy the music to just try to get as much out of it as possible.
And not only that, but the words, like the best rock and roll songs are the best songs, are, you know, spoken or sung, and you know, you can try to put down into words exactly what you're trying to feel or convey, but when it comes down to it, it's the music with the words. I mean, we could get up there and read our lyrics in a monotone voice and stand in front of a microphone in a suit and a tie. I don't think it would have quite the same effect as what we do. It's more than that. It's how they're sung. And we say this over and over again in interviews, but it's the feeling behind those words. Those words, you could have the smartest words in the world, but as far as music and entertainment goes, they'd be completely hollow. It's one thing to read a book, but you read a book at home and by yourself in your bed. You know, this is music, and it's more of an experience.
At the same time, I'd like to put like I say, I like to put a lot into the words, because I mean, a lot of people say you've got to, you know, say something simple so everyone understands. When I give people more credit, I think people are intelligent, and I think people, given something that's a little obscure or something they don't first get, will just look into it and maybe get something more out of it. I think you should give the people listening as much as possible and let them take out what they can, instead of giving them only what you think they can understand. I mean, that's a little, what would you say, condescending to the audience, I think, to play down to them, to say, well, what would Joe Blow average understand? We'll have to write this in 3 words, and not you know, that's a little elitist.
You write how you feel.
Yeah, and I expect people to try to understand as much as I try to understand myself when I'm writing this.
Yeah, about the backside of the lyric sheet. All those words about sins. I mean,
That was from a religious pamphlet,
yeah.
and I saw it.
Was it Jehovah's Witness?
Jehovah's Witness or one of these ones.
Mormon.
Someone told me you have to get them in Germany or over in Holland, And it was funny because I picked this up off the street or something. I looked at this thing and I just burst out laughing because it was first of all, they equated things like, you know, your sins, like swearing with murder, you know, and stubbornness with, you know, witchcraft, you know, and
homosexuality.
yeah, right. It was just
with incest. When you say
it was just all these really silly things all put together. But what struck me second, and more importantly, I thought, these are all topics for Nomeansno songs. I thought, these are all the things we write about.
We didn't change anything about that panel. Andy just put the Nomeansno in the bottom. Everything was exactly as the way it was.
Because we didn't understand what you were trying to say with those lyrics. You know?
Well, yeah.
It's not yours.
No.
We've had lots of things where it's a little dodgy, maybe a little more sort of controversial.
Well, again, we like also there's swastikas on the cover of the record, and we've had some problem with people objecting to that on posters and the T-shirts.
And perhaps so they should.
Perhaps so they should, but I mean, it's an ugly symbol, but that's the thing we'd like to put in everything. We don't like to clean the material out. It's not as if we are some sort of gods of the pantheon who know all and see all and are pure and beautiful, and we're going to lay out all this stuff for everyone to appreciate. This is the way and the truth, like sort of many positive hardcore bands who I like the music and I like the idealism behind what they're doing, but they're not the judges of the world, and I think after a few years, and they get a little older, they'll understand that the world is not black and white, and that they're not perfect either, right?
But you're talking about straight edge?
Well, I mean, there's
well, not straight edge exactly. It's a straight edge attitude, a self-righteous attitude. There's one thing that bugs me more in the world. It's people with a self-righteous attitude. I am right. I have these beliefs. They are right. If you don't believe them, you are wrong. Now there are a lot of beliefs that are wrong, and there are a lot of things that are wrong, and it's easy to see some of them. But people who have that attitude are themselves flawed, no matter how good the things they believe in, because they're not looking at themselves as being part of the world and part of the rest of us who are just monkeys and not perfect, right? And they're the same way, right? And they're not judges, they're not higher, right? And we don't like to do that either, and we like to put all that we have inside us on the records and the artwork and the music and the lyrics, and a lot of them are ugly, a lot of them are not nice, a lot of them are not politically correct.
There's a victim and family song that's called "There's a Nazi Inside of My Brain."
Yeah.
Now, you can listen to that song and go, well, these guys are fascists. It's like, you know, I mean, it's, you know, if people can't get past, you know, like,
The simple meaning.
a simple, like, you know, basic thing. It's like listening to the Ramones and hearing, you know, the most ugly things and going, well, the Ramones beat on the brat, well, they're into child abuse, you know? It'd be like,
No, it's not as simple as that. Right?
it's ugliness for the sake of
And I really just trust artwork or music or anything that tries to make things simple. Things are not simple. I like things that are complicated. I like when I look at something not to be able to understand it the first time, to have so much coming at me that it's like, is it saying yes or is it saying no? Is it saying black or is it saying white? Because all the things exist all the time. And I think a really rich work of music or painting or writing will have all those things coming out all the time.
Well, you have to listen to it. So it's complicated. And it's not, yeah. And like Victim Family. You know Victim Family?
Yeah. We play with them many times.
Great
You know them.
band,
Yeah, good band. They're coming over here later this summer.
we know.
Yeah.
everyone's like,
I hope they have a good tour. They're not very well appreciated in North America.
yeah, in the United States, I mean, some people know Victim's Family and they do sell records there, but I mean, they haven't toured much there and not a whole lot of people know them. But to come over here, it's like, oh, Victim's Family's coming over, Victim's Family, everyone's drooling at the, chomping at the bit, and which is great. I mean,
I've heard a story about you and Victim Family that you wouldn't play after Victim Family.
No, it wasn't we wouldn't play.
We were afraid to
We were afraid to play. One of the very first shows we had in California was at this small pizza place that, I don't know, it's the size of this little courtyard here is probably about twice the size of the place where we play. And it was us and the Mr. T Experience and the Victim's Family. And so Mr. T Experience came on, and they were really good and really fun. It was a really good show, lots of different people. And the Victim's Family came on, and they did their set, and then they stopped. And it was like, well, I guess that's it, guys. I really enjoyed being in the music business now. Time to settle down, you know, get a nice farm.
Retire. Yeah, they're very good. They're very good.
So it was a real challenge. It was like, okay, here we go.
You have to, if you're going to follow Victim's Family, you have to do something. yeah, you're really
We also had the misfortune, or fortune,
following the beatniks.
Following the beatniks.
A couple of times, too.
And that was a little much. I mean, Victim's family, there's only 3 of them, right? So we got to fight jazz. But beatniks, there's like 6 of them on stage. So, I mean, we just thought, you know, they'd come out, do their hour show, things flying, sparks going everywhere, things being banged. We come out, we're like, all right, we're Nomeansno, this one's called Obsessed.
Do you always start with Obsessed?
So, no, a lot of the time, not.
We've just put it again set again recently.
Yeah.
We've just switched around the sets from the ones we had in America.
We've been playing close
About
to
2
2
sets.
hours every time we played.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have a lot of new songs, and we know people want to hear the old songs, and we also have to play the album because that's what we're selling on this tour, as it were. So we're kind of mashing everything together. So we have like 2 long sets, and we play them on alternate nights, and even still, we're trying to add new songs at the same time. So it's good though. It's good. I haven't. We've been playing every night since we started to play, and been playing close to 2 hours, but it's been going really good. The shows haven't suffered, I think. I think we'll do really
You seem
well.
to enjoy yourself on stage a lot.
Yeah, well, especially when the people get into it,
Yeah,
if you
when
hear people
it's a
laughing,
crowd,
having a good time, and they applaud and they seem to enjoy it, then it's just like, okay, fine, they like us, we like it, let's do it.
That's what playing is about, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it should be.
Sometimes it's not so easy. We definitely have our up and down shows, and but that's good.
We've
I mean,
actually had quite a few problems in Europe yet. We still
technical problems.
We still haven't had a show to go smoothly since we've been here. Always something's
We've
going
had good
wrong.
shows. The last couple shows have been
Oh,
really
they all
good.
been good shows, but I mean, just for
But
us.
It's like going from the
technically
first song to the
on
last time and then stopping going,
Oh,
fix
the
it.
drum set's falling apart. Here we go.
But
In Groningen, I kept ending up with mics on my lap. You wouldn't sit still for the whole night.
There was something in Groningen also with a couple of guys in front of the stage.
yeah, they had a couple of goose in the room.
Yeah, you said something about it.
Oh, they
Yeah,
weren't bad.
They weren't bad. They were just a little,
Just too drunk.
too drunk and too ignorant at the moment. Yeah.
Too drunk and too.
I mean, they liked it, and they weren't out to
Yeah.
do any harm, but, you know, some people just forget how to act every now and then. I mean, I don't mind people having fun. If they start to spoil someone else's fun, that's when I get upset, especially if it's mine.
No, the shows can be uneven, but I think it's not like we've got a stock show. And every Nomeansno show is going to be a good, clean, tight show. We play the same songs. We get the same applause after each particular break or song. Or, you know, our shows are, you know, we only have a couple sets, but each show is individual. I mean, when you come see a Nomeansno show, hopefully it'll be a lot different than the last time. For better, for worse, but it will be different anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, tonight we're playing the exact same set as we did.
I don't know.
Yeah, I saw. Well, how you act on stage? Well, what about emotion? Emotion in music and emotion in
Well, yeah, I
stage.
think those two go together, and they should. I mean, music that doesn't have any emotion in it is pretty boring music. And emotion doesn't mean screaming and yelling and jumping around. We do that. That's sort of the traditional music we come out of, and that's what we've enjoyed doing.
It doesn't have to be.
You know, you can be emotional by standing and singing very quietly. You know, you can put a lot of emotion in a song like that.
You can be emotional like James Brown, or you can be emotional like DAF, which is totally icy and cold.
In a way, yeah.
And, but there's something there.
There has to be, there has to be a personal drive behind what you're doing, I think, to make it exciting for you and exciting then for the people who are watching. And I think we try to do that. And we do it. We still get excited and have a good time playing.
When I play, I just take out my personal vendetta against the entire human race on my guitar.
Yeah, you got a personal vendetta against the entire human race.
Except for this guy in Hoboken, he's okay.
Yeah, he's
Fred from Hoboken, I like him. The rest of them,
No, it's like, you know, I'm sort of two minds. I think the band is on the one hand, you know, we'd like to, you know, see a better world, make things better, and that's kind of what we sing about. But at the same time, you know, it's like you can only take a look at so much shit before you start, you know, like throwing up in disgust. And so there's these two sort of frames of mind. So on the one hand, I'll walk down the street and I'll think, you know, wouldn't it be a great world if everyone got along? At the same time, I think, that guy's an asshole, I want to kill him. But I'm too big, I'm too small, and they'd throw me in jail. So why not do something productive? I play the guitar. So,
But you're talking about small parts, isolated and destroyed maybe now?
Yeah,
Well,
kind
that
of.
song has those elements in it, yeah. It's
I mean, that just takes the ugly side of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one side of, I mean, it takes the music industry and music business, which is something that we know about and I've been in, and just use that as an example for a lot of other things. Like, well, Robbie wrote the song, so you could explain it.
Well, it's about phoniness and imposed phoniness, and the sort of inner damage which that will do if you don't live a real life, if you don't say what you think or act how you believe, but instead you act how someone else says you should, or you think that they require you to do so. And that happens in the music scene with people who have the same haircuts and who beat up the same people who have different haircuts. Yeah. And that happens in the business world where you screw your competitor. That happens on the state level where you send out armies to kill your neighboring countries. I mean, so that song is about that side of people where they are used and they are channeled to be and do things that they really wouldn't if they had left to themselves. Right.
Do you mistrust people who read the Nazi issues in lyrics?
I do.
Yeah, I think mistrust. You have to mistrust in a world where people are filled with fear.
I think most people.
And therefore dangerous.
It's survival. Yeah. In a sense.
At the same time, you cannot let that control your behavior. You have to be suspicious and you have to be careful. But at the same time, if that's all you are, and if you only have that attitude toward other people, then you're totally isolated. I mean, this is what the crux of the song, I think, it is. It's just like, where's the point where you trust and where's the point where you totally back off? I mean, that's something you have to see and understand and make a decision about. And you can't do one or the other. You can't totally withdraw and you can't totally accept. Because if you totally accept, you will be totally used. And if you totally withdraw, you will become nothing. Right? So it's like everything else. It's both sides.
That goddamn duality just keeps on showing up.
I hate that duality.
That yin and yang, god damn it.
Well,
Okay.
do you have something to say?
Yeah. I'm gonna go
Smash
get
the
myself
tape,
some
kids.
food.
Lunchtime.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.